So anyway, episode 27. Hey.
Wow, 27.
27.
That's not a significant number in any way.
No.
I remember what I was doing
It is a
when
cube,
I was 27. I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, and I weighed like another 60 pounds more than I do now, so that's a thing.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Segued into, hey Dan, how's your Wii Fit corner?
Oh, I wasn't gonna bring that up,
Too late.
but it's a full stop right now.
Okay.
I just got, as a matter of fact, I just got back from McDonald's, and so I mean that says it all right there. I give up. I went to McDonald's. Right? And when you go to McDonald's, you might as well just be wearing sweatpants. It's like the sweatpants of food.
So you threw in the towel then, did you?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying McDonald's is tasty, y'all.
Hey Dan.
Yeah.
You got to remember, this is a paragon of Parks and Recreation here. Every once in a while, you got to remember to treat yourself.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, my body is a temple of doom, and I'm aware of that.
My body is an amusement park.
Right. We don't need to know that.
Exactly.
But anyway,
yeah,
what else have you been playing?
Oh, okay. Well, I finally finished Wolf Among Us.
What did you think?
I liked it. I liked it.
Now,
yeah.
Gonna spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't played Wolf Among Us yet. Which ending did you choose, or what did you choose to do at the very last scene?
I saved his ass. Yeah, I put him in jail because it's different. It's not something that they do in Fantasy Town.
Wait, his what?
Yeah,
no. There's a very end.
Oh, the end.
I don't really want to. I might want to play this game someday.
All right. Well, just
pull your headphones off for about 5-10 seconds.
Okay, send me a message on Skype chat when you guys are done.
Okay.
All right. And for the folks at home who haven't seen the rest of this, go ahead and skip about 15 seconds. I can hear an echo from Brian's speakers.
That's fine.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no, when at the
ending,
very end,
did I choose to follow her or not?
Yeah.
I followed her. I didn't see the consequences of that.
Oh, so you ran after her?
I did.
Oh, I let her go.
You let her go?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because it just felt right to me. The way I played it, well, I think we could probably let Brian in on.
Yeah, we're not gonna spoil any. Brian.
Sorry, what now?
But yeah, the way I played it, that's the option I chose. Kind of the way I was playing the game, that's sort of where I went with it. I was very altruistic about the whole game.
You know, I kind of wish it was about the halfway through. I realized it wasn't the game that I wanted it to be, and I just kind of had to let that go. And the game that I wanted to be was more of a police procedural, but instead I got like a fantasy melodrama. And that's fine. That's the game it is. But I was really expecting the setup to be, I'm a cop on the beat in a fantasy world. But nevertheless, I still loved it.
I think I saw an article on either Polygon or Kotaku or something like that about Wolf Among Us. They got to episode 3 or 4, and they're like, yeah, you know what? I just kind of got to the point in this game where it's like they just flipped the fuck it switch and just played the rest of the game as a complete dick fuck.
Okay, so just silent, every option silent? The whole
No, like making all the worst possible decisions and just being a right out jerk.
Yeah, I mean, if I go back, I probably would do that because the actions you make where you're a nice guy don't really pay off.
No. Well, it's Telltale. I mean, the ends are pretty much always the same. It's just your journey on how you got to that ending.
Yeah.
And how you feel about yourself and blah, blah, blah.
That's
anyway.
right. And it just sort of really made me realize that that's the game it is. So I went back to play my Walking Dead library. That was a mistake.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, well, for one thing, and if you go back to The Walking Dead Season 1, you realize that there was a lot of stuff like that kind of made me mad about that game. Like when you get to a fork where you get 4 possible things to do, you'll pick one which is what you think should be the right choice, but it's the actual polar opposite of what you choose to do. You know what I mean? Brian,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to be this, choose this, and then suddenly Clementine hates you.
I want to be the chosen one.
Yeah, I mean, so they fixed that part. I don't know, and some of the click stuff that you had to do in the first season was very prevalent. I hated that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's still kind of cool it's great writing, and knowing what I know now when I go back to those earlier levels is kind of cool, but also kind of lame. I don't know. I still can't wait for the final episode of season 2 of the Walking Dead. I can't wait for that.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. I've also been playing Divinity: Original Sin.
What do you think about that game? That's like a
Well,
what should we call it? Like a turn-based strategy type RPG type thing, right?
exactly. It actually kind of reminds me of XCOM, but set in a fantasy pseudo D&D realm.
Right.
So the history of that game is that it was a Kickstarter, and the reason why this developer went to a Kickstarter is because they couldn't find a publisher, because it's a very risky venture like XCOM. So I went with it because it looks and feels like Neverwinter Nights, right down to the D&D 3.5 rules.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It separates itself enough so that they're not going to get sued by Wizards of the Coast. But fuck me, this game is super hard. Super hard. Even on easy mode, this game will punish you for bad rolls and tactical choices, which aren't necessarily your fault.
Right.
So I could not. So I started off. You start off with 2 characters, and so naturally I rolled the trope of the fighter cleric duo, thinking that I'll probably pick up rogue or wizard later on. And spoiler, you do. But I was finding even with that setup, I was losing every single fight, and even in the starting zone, even in the newbie cave that you start off, I was dying. So, as you see, I had a quick look put up on the internet. Part 2 will be posted later. You see some of the trouble that I was running with that classic duo. So what I did is I re-rolled, and I happened to go on a website and min-maxed a bit. And they said to go with a fighter and a wizard. So now I've turned my characters into zombies.
Huh.
So the way that works is poison will actually cure you.
Okay.
So, and everything in that game is poison. There's poison trap, poison bad guys, vials.
Okay.
Everything is poison. So if you just happen to wander into poison, which happens a fucking lot, you heal. So now I'm breezing through the game, and it's great.
Right.
So basically, you've just spun up easy mode.
Easy mode engaged. Yeah, and it's a lot better. It actually
Nice.
is a lot better. It was just an effort in futility in the first couple levels. So
Well, that would be pretty terrible. I mean, like when you start a new game and you just can't get past the first zone. I'll be discussing more on that later. It can be very infuriating and frustrating, and at least you went ahead and did a little bit of min-maxing and investigation on the best options. But it seems silly that you chose the characters you want to play,
right?
And you want to carry on with that combination, and the game is basically like, no, we're not going to let you.
That's not how you play this game, and I realize that now. So you have to be summoning, you have to be going invisible all the time, you have to be a zombie, and then you can play that game. I can't. No, but that's the thing. I went on forums and I say, hey, I want to play this game the way I want to play it, and people will say, well, just be patient. Hit F5 to autosave a lot, and I go, oh no, that's
Save's coming.
That's not how. That's worse.
Save's coming.
Right. So I don't know. I still like it. It's a beautiful game. Check out my quick looks on our website, and and you'll see that just how much I go on and on about how beautiful that game looks. So, I've also been playing something called Plague Inc.
Plague Inc. Yeah, I saw you playing that.
Yeah, with all this Ebola shit that's going down.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Decided you better do some homework.
Well, I figured,
So you're not playing Pandemic?
Well, no, I
Anyway.
guess not. If you come to that game like I did, trying to use a little gallows humor to make light of the news, don't. Because it's a terrifying game. So the way it works is you play a virus. Is that like Pandemic? I haven't played that one.
Yeah, Pandemic's the same kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I should have played that one, but...
Pandemic's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, really, you play all the way through, you unlock viruses and bacteria and stuff, and as you basically...
Fungus parasites, right?
Yeah, so the best ones are the zombie and the monkey virus.
Were you playing the movie tie-in with the Planet of the Apes thing?
I was, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool because you can unlock like an RPG power-ups, like you can make the monkeys discover fire and guns, and or not. You just make dumb monkeys if you want.
We need to keep our monkeys dumb. They'll just take over if we don't. If those movies are anything to be believed.
Yeah, so I'd stay away. Plague Inc. I mean, $14 is a little bit high for a game like that.
Wow, really?
It's an early access game. Yeah, I don't know. I was drunk and scared, Brian.
Drunk and scared is a bad combination, Dan.
Yeah. So I designed a super virus that just wiped out humanity in like 300 days, dude. It's crazy. We're doomed.
That's pretty bad. You don't want to do that.
No. So yeah, I'm terrified. I'll leave it to you guys now to talk about the games that you're playing. I'll just cower my corner.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Nelson, or shall I?
Go for it, Brian.
I usually volunteer you to go first, but I thought I'd give you the option this time. What did I play? Since last we met, what have I been playing? I guess I finally put a fork in Hitman. I finished off that game.
Nice.
The last mission is pretty brutal, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, you're basically fighting your way up this like office building, or I guess it's an office building. And the last mission is basically the top of the building. There's guys with machine guns everywhere, and you have to fight your way across the top of a building to a helipad, which has a guy standing on it with a machine gun. And you have to stealth your way across this building, like the top of this building. It's brutal. There's
as long as you're not barefoot
like
and broken glass.
No,
I wish you were. That'd be great.
No kidding, right? But there's actually an epilogue after that where you do another mission, and there's this scene in a graveyard where you're trying to verify that somebody who you killed is actually dead, and there's part where you're fighting your way up this hill. Like there's a team of assholes in the graveyard already trying to do the same thing. So you're trying to get there without being detected by them. But there's this one part where they've basically set up this one area of the graveyard. It's all littered with booby traps, and there's a bunch of guys in full military battle dress with machine guns, walking patrol routes at the top. There's 3 of these guys, and they're called Praetorians. And there was one of the achievements for the levels that I got that was quite funny. I just saw these guys, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna show these guys I'm better than them. And I went around and instead of sniping them from a distance or shooting them with a silenced weapon or something like that, I garroted all 3 of these fuckers.
Excellent.
So, and as soon as I did that, a little achievement pops up on the screen, and the text is the text of the achievement says, "We get it. You're good at this."
It knows. It's achieved a singularity. It's reading your brain.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, finished Hitman. I really enjoyed it. I know they're doing a follow-up to this series or to this game, because I guess this Hitman game was pretty successful for IO. So there's another one coming, and I'm eagerly awaiting that one. So, I just love that game because you can play it any way you want, right? Like if you feel like being stealthy and only taking out the targets you want, you can play it that way. Or if you feel like hiding in a cornfield and stabbing every motherfucker who comes into the level, you can also do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You can also rampage through levels with a dog bone and club everybody to death that you see. I mean, it's. And I did all 3 of those in the course of that game, but
Ryan snapped a little.
Yeah, I did. Some of the levels you just get that way. It's like something you miss like a really precise timing thing, like over and over and over again. And you're just like, fuck it, I'm grabbing a dog bone and I'm bludgeoning everybody in this level to death.
Yeah. Do you find that you had to replay some levels because of that? Like the
structure of the game basically demands replaying. If you want to get through it, like if you want to get the most out of that game, there are multiple paths everywhere. So they encourage replaying. Like just to give you an example, there's an achievement. Or there's objectives on each level, right? One of the objectives is obtain all of the disguises on the level, right? There'll be 3 or 4 different disguises on a level. One of the objectives is obtain all of the disguises. Another objective is get from start to finish in your suit, right? So obviously you're not going to be able to get both of those in one playthrough, right?
Right.
So the structure of the game basically encourages playthroughs, like multiple playthroughs on each level, to try and pick up all these different achievements. And each time you do play it through and rack up more of these things, your score will actually go up. right? Because you get more multipliers to your score for the more objectives you complete, right?
Ah, okay.
So if you play through a level 4 or 5 times, you'll find yourself getting twice as many points as you did before, and you'll see more of the level. You'll figure out more of the little secrets, and figure out more of the little sort of hidden jokes and stuff like that they put in. It's a fairly organic sort of feedback that they built into this thing to try and sort of provoke people to give the game more than a single playthrough, and I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat to see like a whole story. Like maybe you played through and you kind of get one side of it, like a Rashomon kind of effect, and then you play it again, you get another totally different view. Did you find that as well?
Well, it really comes down to just the details. Like the grander points of the story will stay the same from playthrough to playthrough. Like it's not a dynamic story by any means.
Okay.
But how you get there, how do you get from point A to point B, can be drastically different from one playthrough to another. Like one playthrough will be the guy who goes through with nothing but his suit and fiber wire and just garrots only his targets. The other playthrough will be the guy who takes every single disguise he finds and cuts loose with a machine gun at every opportunity, right? I mean, the details will be different from playthrough to playthrough, but the grander, like the larger story does stay the same.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I had a load of fun with that one, and I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Great. Yeah, it sounds fun. I think I'll try that one sometime.
Yeah, you should. If you see it cheap, definitely pick it up.
Sure.
Are you going to play the RTS style, XCOM style Hitman game?
I looked at that one, but I don't know. I looked at that one, but the Hitman, pardon me, Hitman Go is what that one's called.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I looked at that one, and apparently it's really good, but I have kind of a limited tolerance for those kinds of games. The kind of get everything right or nothing works for you kind of thing. I don't know. I might give it a try if it ever comes up. At a discount on. I think that one's iOS only at this point, isn't it?
Oh shit, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. It doesn't really seem to add anything story-wise to the Hitman universe, so I think I can be okay with just kind of giving it a pass.
Yeah.
I watched the quick look of it on Giant Bomb. I think that's about as much as I need from that game. I've been kind of schizophrenic with my gameplay the last little while. I picked up Red Faction Armageddon on Steam for $1.99.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I played a little bit of that one, but so far at this point, I haven't really gotten too deep into it. I really enjoyed Red Faction Guerrilla, but from what I heard on this one, it was not the same type of experience.
Yeah.
It was much more of a linear kind of corridor shooter type of thing. So I played a little bit of that. I did a little bit of the multiplayer and played about a half an hour of the single player, just enough to kind of get familiar with the basic controls and stuff like that. But I'll be getting deeper into that one in the next week or so. Aside from that, I've been playing a fair amount of XCOM, doing my Long War series. I'm gonna have some. I went back basically and redid all of that. So
Okay.
I wasn't entirely happy with my first take on it. So went back and redid the first few missions, and those should start appearing on our YouTube channel very shortly.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. If not, it's just the usual FTL, Isaac, a little bit of Hero Siege.
Yeah. Hey, have they fixed the multiplayer on that yet? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of. We can give it a try though if you want.
I'd like to. That game looks great. Yeah. The other game I want to try with you is Firefall.
Firefall, yeah, we did talk about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I did give it a try. I don't know what what some of the reviewers thought. Actually, it's a straight up MMO. That's a shooter, and it's a lot of fun actually. So,
yeah, I'm down to give that one a try. Actually, maybe I'll start downloading that one as soon as we're done here.
Cool. Hi, Nelson.
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Nice of you to join us.
Yeah. How's it going?
What are we doing?
What games?
Oh yeah, those things.
What you played? Games. What you played?
Did you play games?
Not a lot. I did play some, so that's good.
It's summertime, so
Yeah. Oh, dude, it is like gross hot. But enough bitching about the weather. It's so very un-Canadian. Oh wait, that's a very Canadian thing. Never mind.
It is.
Bitch, what's my line?
It's just
Weather.
so boring. All you talk about is the Beza.
What have I been playing? Top of my list, and very recently, Battle Block Theater. Cool. I am at the very last stage of the game. There's like eight episodes or 8 chapters or 8 whatevers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels per. I think I've gotten past the 2 levels for section 8. It's challenging. It is very, very challenging. I actually even went back, and some of my earlier levels, I noticed my performance wasn't good, so I replayed a bunch of them to get a score of at least A.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of fun going back, because, as you get further in the game, you get better at it, so you can go back and kind of re-up your scores. So, sneaky on them for adding a little bit of unintentional replayability for some of us who like to, get the numbers, but...
That game is fun.
It's, when I first started playing it, I had a very negative opinion on it. I don't know if you remember that from a number of podcasts ago. But, it's my next Spelunky at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not another one.
Because as we all remember, Spelunky was like my mainstay game for quite a while. That's all I was playing, with other games in between.
Right.
Battle Block's nice because, you pick it up, you play it for a bit. If you're doing good, you kind of keep playing, and if you're doing bad, it's like, whatever, I'll just stop, and then carry on with your day. So yeah, I'm, there's certain things about it I'm not too into, or that kind of bother me. Like when you get all the balls of yarn and all the weapons, once you've gotten all the weapons, the balls of yarn you collect are useless.
Right.
So there isn't really a push to keep collecting them, but there is, because otherwise you don't get a good score on each level, but...
Well, there it is, right? There's the push.
Yeah.
You don't get the A+ if you don't get the ball.
I just wish there was a way to kind of convert that ball of yarn into gems, so you can buy more prisoners from... Wow, that sounded really bad. From the prison shop? Commissary? Well, I don't know.
It's from the washing machines that they come out of.
Yeah. But, total of 14 and a half hours put into that game.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Didn't know there's that much time in that game.
Oh, yeah, there's lots. Well, that also includes the co-op that I play with Brian. And that's one thing we're going to try. We're going to do a co-op series for the YouTube channels.
Right.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. I'm not going to get more into any more details. I'm just going to let it be fluid.
There's Steam Workshop support for that too, so you can get like custom levels and stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, lots of replayability in that one.
Lots of options.
I mean, I paid $250 for Battle Block and Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that was a pretty savvy investment at this point. Even with, I've only put in about 6 hours on Battle Block at this point, but still, that's money well spent.
I'm wondering about Castle Crashers, if it's local or online co-op. Because if it's online co-op,
let me see. Local co-op and co-op are both listed on the store page. So.
Okay. Well, that's something to consider for down the road. Yeah,
definitely.
So I have also been playing a little bit of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction.
Ah, cool.
I'm not entirely sure which control scheme I want to use for this game. Keyboard and mouse, a la PC Master Race, or if I want to go with my Xbox controller. I kind of wish I could do both.
Yeah. When I played through it originally, I did keyboard and mouse, just because I liked having the additional precision when I was aiming and stuff like that.
That's my thought right there, but go ahead.
Yeah.
That was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all I got. Sorry, I just fired up Castle Crash to see if the multiplayer was online.
Awesome.
I'll get out of this now. Sorry, I was distracted.
Keyboard and mouse for precision.
Yeah, when I originally played through, I went through start to finish with the and start to finish on the co-op campaign with keyboard and mouse.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way too, just because like aiming and just looking around and stuff with the Xbox controller is a bit of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
The only thing is, like, it's a little bit more fluid because it is a cover-based game using a controller. But
yeah, I can see that. But the options that you have for moving from cover to cover in that game kind of make it like hit a button, move from this cover to that cover kind of thing. You don't really need a whole lot of like analog stick control or anything like that. The only thing I really felt like I lost out on with not using the controller was like being able to precisely kind of granularly control your movement speed.
Yeah, that's another. See, that's why I'm kind of wondering which one I want to go with.
Right.
Yeah, it's a toughie. I think I'm probably going to do my first spin through, or at least a few levels with the Xbox controller, and if I don't like it, I'll switch out. But
Sure.
for now, it's kind of fun. I've only played like maybe 40 minutes of the game so far, so I haven't seen much. But
Yeah.
it's
Definitely one of the best co-op experiences I've ever had with that game.
Yeah, that's a future playthrough for us as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's a little weird at times. Like his daughter kind of reminds me of the daughter from Monsters Inc., or the little girl from Monsters Inc.
Boo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But in low definition almost. I'm playing max settings, but she just kind of looks really like an unpolished character compared to everyone
Weird.
else. But yeah,
I didn't notice that when I played it.
It's strange. But either way, yeah. So I'm probably gonna do a little bit more Splinter Cell over the next few weeks, just to kind of get a good feel for it before I let you tear me a new one in the co-op version.
Well, we're going to be fighting on the same side.
Are we? Okay.
For most of it. I don't know. Am I spoiling things by saying
Who cares? Other games, I've been doing Walking Dead Season 1. I deleted my save game, and I'm doing like a fresh walkthrough.
Very good.
Similar to what Mr. Danny J is doing. Yeah. Comparatively, basically after having just played The Wolf Among Us and jumping back into like the first offering practically of the Telltale series,
Yeah.
you can notice have polished quite a bit. Since
Monkey Island.
Monkey Island.
What?
That was their first one. That was their first one.
Whatever.
But you know,
why
their
would
first
you bring that up?
their first majorly adopted one. Whatever.
they also had Back to the Future.
Shut up.
That was after. I think that was after. Wasn't that after Walking Dead?
I thought it was before. It could be wrong.
First majorly adopted one.
Sam Max.
Anywho.
One too.
My God. But yeah, the polish. The
Hey,
polish.
if you're not being specific on the
Jurassic
gaming
Park.
podcast, you got to expect this kind of thing.
We will definitely be getting letters. If we get letters,
Yeah, we will.
because of nitpickers.
I could just
Somebody
edit this
please
all
send us
out.
that.
Anywho, yeah.
Just
So I've been
so you know.
replaying The Walking Dead Season 1, and I don't know if it's holding up, but
I'd stick with it. You haven't played it yet, have you?
no, I have
Okay, you've already played it. So have you played Season 2 then?
no.
Okay. Yep.
about 400
I missed 400 days because I couldn't figure out how to get to it, which is why kind of my push to replay Season 1 to go into 400 days to go into Season 2.
Yeah.
By the time I get through Season 1 and 400 days, Season 2 should be fully complete, and then I can just kind of sweep through the rest. So
Hopefully, yeah.
hopefully, fingers crossed.
I haven't played 400 Days either. I kind of want to.
It's interesting. I've seen a little bit of gameplay of it. I didn't watch enough to spoil it, but it's it's a neat little vignette into 5 different characters and how they interact or how they come to pass in the end, or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the last game I've been playing, and a good little tie-in back to what we were talking about earlier. I've been playing Gods Will Be Watching by
Oh, you
Devolver
picked that up,
Digital.
did you? Nice.
I bought
Yeah,
that.
you've been talking about that one.
I pre-ordered that a while ago, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I gotta say, first
Yeah?
impressions are not good.
Oh, really?
A lot of people are loving it. I'm not.
Oh, dear.
It's a tough one. Yeah, like Dan was mentioning earlier, I started out, wasn't making any progress, kept dying over and over and over and over, or failing over and over and over again, and I was just getting so frustrated that I, did the proverbial table flip and put the game aside for now.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of a mechanic in that game, though? Like, aren't you supposed to be failing over and over again to try and kind of find your way through the game?
They state it very clearly when you select the difficulty.
Right.
They say you will fail a lot. And then the easier difficulty is it basically says, if you hate us so much after having played on normal, try it on easy. But they also dictate that normal is how they intend.
That's their
the game.
desired right. That's the way the game is made.
So maybe I'm not paying attention enough, or I'm not reading, or I'm just not getting it, because it is a bit of a puzzle game. Like it's very similar to those very old point and click adventures where a subtle little detail or doing something in the right order, even though it's not totally clear, you just kind of have to know, or you stumble upon it. That's how it's going.
Right. I haven't played this one, but I watched Northern Lions series on it, and it seems like to me every level boils down to cracking the formula of what you're supposed to do, like what order you're supposed to do things in.
Northern Lion formulas.
Yeah. But it basically boils down to figuring out what order you're supposed to do these operations and what your tolerances are for how much you can screw up, right? Like there's a mission.
Strange because I watch a lot of Bear Taffy, and Bear Taffy's playthrough is more along the style of how I would play.
Yeah.
And Northern Lion seems to be more along how you would play things. It's interesting how the YouTubers that we watch kind of mimic how we would play a game.
Right.
Just randomly pointing that out. Anyway, go ahead.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, that's a good point. But yeah, there seems to be kind of, at least from what I've seen of this game, and I haven't actually played it myself, but I've just watched people playing it, and basically it seems like there is kind of a critical path and a certain amount of tolerance either way, like how many times you can kind of screw it up. Like there's a set, you have to do these actions, and you can fuck up this many times. That seems to be how each level kind of shakes down.
Basically. And I don't know if I have the patience for that, so we'll see.
Right.
I might come back to it at a later point, but for now, the game's just... I'm back.
It might be like a Christmas game, Christmas break,
Yeah.
Relax.
I think you should stick with it because I really want to see what your reaction to the final level would be, because I actually watched that, and
so you basically spoiled the game for yourself.
I know how it ends. Yeah.
Okay. I do not.
So I'm not going to tell you, but
okay.
I would like to see what your reaction to that last level would be, actually.
All right.
If you do decide to stick with it.
Yeah, I might do. I'm not sure if I want to do a series on it or not. I might just play it through and give a little report afterwards.
Right.
It's just a shame because I had really high hopes for it, and it was not what I was expecting it to be.
Very cool art style, and
it
seems like the storytelling in it seems pretty interesting too. I don't know if it's the best written game that I've ever seen. Like the writing seems a little silly sometimes, but I think these guys are like Spanish, I want to say.
Deconstruct Team,
Spanish.
I think it was?
Yeah, are they? I think they're Spanish or Brazilian, or I can't remember. They're.
I don't remember.
Spanish or Portuguese is their first language. I can't remember which, but it seems like kind of an interesting concept. But some of the writing seemed a little flat to me. But like I said, I didn't actually play the game. I just watched somebody play it. So
yeah.
Anything else, Nelson?
That is totally it for me. For now.
Oh, do you want to talk about news?
I got a news.
You have a news? You want to talk about news?
I have a news.
Let me hear your news, Brian. Lay it on us.
Okay, Stardock issued a customer report.
Customer report.
Have you seen this?
No, Stardock. Okay, no. Go on.
Stardock is a company that not only publishes games, but they also publish like desktop software and stuff like that. They distribute, they basically they're in the software market. And they put out a report that basically, outlines their business the last little while. One of the sections of the report has the state of the technology industry, and the first heading in that says "Retail is dead."
Okay.
5 years ago, our survey showed that 58% of our customers bought their software in a box at retail. Further, 24% of them expected to still be doing so 5 years from then. In reality, it turned out to be 6%. Retail disappeared even faster than our tech-savvy consumer base imagined it would. Digital distribution is consolidating. That's their second point. They're calling it a new renaissance, making innovative and more interesting software. On the other hand, it has also ushered in a flood of dreck that has made it a lot harder for developers to get noticed.
It's true.
If you make software and games in 2014, you will almost certainly be dealing with either Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Valve, Sony, Nintendo, or Apple. That is a lot of consolidation in a very short amount of time. And they say mobile development is not a viable business model.
Viable because a lot of one-offs make it like Flappy Bird.
They have a couple of points here. Discoverability is terrible. It's difficult for quality products to float to the top.
Yep.
They're flooded with dreck, and the user experience for exploring what is available is terrible. This is not something easily addressed. Second point sensitivity, or pardon me, price sensitivity is too severe. Prices are traditionally determined by supply and demand. There is not remotely enough active customers to justify $2 on any mobile platform. Third, attachment rates are terrible. This is the nature of the mobile device. We do not expect to spend a lot of time actively interacting with our mobile device compared to other devices, TVs, consoles, or computers. As a result, users do not tend to become very attached to any particular item, with notable exceptions, which is why they're notable.
Yeah.
They go on to say that they think most customers will be shocked if they knew the actual dollars earned by reasonably popular iOS and Android apps. It's one of the better kept secrets in the industry that few people discuss, but everybody's trying to now that everyone's trying to make a living developing for mobile. They point out that their poorest selling DLC for PC games has generated more income than nearly every iOS or Android developed app that they have ever gotten numbers for.
Well.
Right. Yeah.
Huh.
That's why when I heard the news, even a couple months ago, that said mobile gaming is taking over the industry, it's just complete and utter bunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen.
Speaking of mobile gaming, good news, guys.
What?
Flappy Bird, it's back, and you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
I have a song that addresses that. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, the guys at Polygon must have been a slow news day because they're talking about how Flappy Bird's back, and it came with kind of a co-op mode or a ghost mode in a way, available on more platforms, yada yada. Closing that tab, don't care.
Okay, so so Brian, what is?
Yeah.
Let's go back to that subject a bit. So what is that?
Sure.
Can we just summarize that? So what does that exactly mean to us, the gamer?
You'll probably never buy another game in a retail store if you're a PC gamer. Mobile development has all the earmarks at this point of being kind of it doesn't look like it's here to stay. It looks like a bubble.
Yeah.
And let's see. What are the other points?
It's the rock band of the gaming industry.
Retail, yeah, exactly. Retail is dead. Digital distribution is coming into its own. Mobile development is
dying off like a cancerous tumor.
Yeah, is not a viable business model yet. They say not yet. Plus, they say that this is Stardoc's position on it. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are both excellent platforms.
Yeah.
Having 64-bit memory address and 8 gigs worth of workable memory is huge. DirectX 12 should help the Xbox One a lot. This generation consoles are the first to be interesting to us as a potential target platform to develop on. Stardock has traditionally in the past been a PC-only developer. So I think more developers actually are seeing the Xbox One and the PS4 to be a viable platform at this point.
I actually have a bit of news that kind of segues into that, or at least bookends into that. So, NVIDIA has announced the specs for the GTX 880, the new video card. So this card will feature the most transistors on a chip yet, at 8 billion. So,
wow.
So I have a GTX 670. It has 3.5 billion. So it's quite the leap.
No doubt.
So what does this mean exactly? Not much, because what's holding back is console ports that are hamstringing video quality, especially when you look at the fallout of the PC version of Watch Dogs, that graphic neutering that happened on the PC.
Yeah. And
so unless it seems like they are keeping PC games at an even keel with consoles, just so that they don't have to compete with themselves. I don't know what you would call this. Or maybe I'm just I don't know, being a little bit conspiratorial, but
it almost does sound conspiratorial because, I mean, so thinking of Watch Dogs as an example, having a quote-unquote hidden subset of code that basically made the game look prettier, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It almost seems like, it is somewhat of a conspiracy because theoretically the PC games could come out or could ship looking, hundreds or thousands times better than any Xbox or PlayStation game of the current generation.
Sure.
Based on that, if you had the option of playing a really kind of ugly-looking PlayStation or Xbox game, or the same game on PC that looks a billion times better, which are you going to put your money into? Obviously, you're probably
obviously,
gonna go the PC route, depending on
sure.
the game, obviously. But for the most part, you'd probably want to go PC just because it's easier. You can build your own system to the specs that you want. More ergonomic, blah 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 blah. So that would effectively really put a damper on the console market. So maybe there is some weight being shoved around to try and keep PC games looking kind of dumb, or
That's
at
what I
least
think.
dumb them down to the same level as consoles.
I don't think there needs to be like a conspiracy thing on this though. I think there's just going to be there's always going to be pressure for some kind of convergence. People as a rule, like, time and money are finite quantities. So people are going to want to develop on multiple platforms at the same time. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that one platform is holding the other back. It's just there needs to be some kind of convergence in order to, maximize the efficiency of development. Because I mean, AAA titles, it's getting out of hand these days. How much money and time is required to develop these games?
Yeah, and that's why I don't think we're going to see the AAA titles like we used to. Or if they will, they'll be in episode form or some way to mitigate the cost. I don't know. It's just that's why you're seeing so many Kickstarters. But anyway, I don't want to stray too far from the point.
Right.
We're getting close to an hour here. Do we want to get right to our topic? Or
Sure.
Okay.
What's the
All right.
topic?
Our topic today, this week, is, when I find it, somewhere here. All right, franchises, dead franchises.
Right.
Do we want to bring any of those dead franchises back? Like, is there any that are in your heart of hearts, that you want to bring back? And if you...
Was
why?
Katamari Damacy a franchise?
Sure.
Bring it back.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm encouraged lately by what's happened with some franchises being brought back with really good entries in their series.
Yeah.
I'm looking at things like Deus Ex, right? Deus Ex came out before the turn of the century, the original one. The second one came out and basically kind of brought the entire franchise to a standstill because it was developed. It was console dumbed out, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why everybody hated it. Deus Ex Human Revolution, absolutely outstanding game. I loved every minute of that one. XCOM, same thing. I mean, you had a great original game. You had some interesting stuff, and then things started to taper off with like XCOM Interceptor and XCOM Enforcer and just shovelware crap that nobody wanted. You get a reboot of the series. You give it some time to kind of just some dormant time. Let it come back, and you get like XCOM Enemy Within, which is the game that I still play to this day. I'm kind of I think it's a good thing. I think every now and again a franchise needs a bit of time off to kind of recharge its batteries, creatively speaking.
Like Tomb Raider, right?
Sure.
Big
A
one
perfect
there.
example.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Great game. Came back recently. They're coming out with another one end of this year. That's another big one.
But did Tomb Raider ever really have a dormancy period, though? I mean, I think if
Yeah,
you look at
it
the
did.
I don't see
I
why
like
the
to
game
think.
sucked. Yeah.
It's more kind of the popularity, because I mean they may have been
Right.
shipping games, but nobody was really picking up on them. So
Right.
that's almost a dormancy period unto itself.
But there was only like a 2 or 3 year gap between like the previous poorly received Tomb Raider game and the new kind of reboot one, wasn't there?
The one where she dies, and then that's the last one I remember, and it was just,
Angel of Darkness or something like that. It was called. I think
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Ew.
it was terrible.
Yeah, I heard it was bad. Yeah, but yeah, I think if we're talking about what games we like, or are we getting to that point yet? Are we still
Yeah,
discussing?
no, I think so. I think we can segue into what games we'd like to bring back.
I would love to see a new take on Star Control.
Star Control.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good pick. Good pick.
that would
Wow.
be my number one.
I had
pick.
so many like 3 a.m. in the morning nights, drunken nights, playing that with you guys.
Oh god, playing
Oh.
melee mode.
Man,
Yeah, if you haven't played it before, do a Google search for Urquan Masters. It's a free game. It's basically Star Control 2 in its entirety with all the voice acting that wasn't originally in the PC version. The 3DO, there was a 3DO version of that game that had full voice acting, and somebody took all the voice acting from that and put it into the PC version, and it's absolutely fantastic.
It's great. Yeah, I highly recommend it too. It's hard.
Yeah.
There's definitely a challenge to it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That game is on. It's a ticking clock basically. You don't have time to do everything that it has to offer, but yeah, I love that game. I still try to play it at least once a year.
Yeah. For me, Chrono Trigger. Everybody loved Chrono Trigger. That's a low risk pick. But I also like Chrono Cross, and that's a tricky one because some people just hated that game. But that game was the first game that actually had serious consequences to your actions when you went through time. So that did not occur back in the day. So back in the early, what was that game? 96, I believe. So yeah, games like that are more prevalent now thanks to Telltale. But I would love to see a reboot or at least continuing that storyline of Chrono.
Right. Cool. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
I wonder why that one didn't carry on like kind of Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior.
I think it just didn't have the numbers that they. I understand there were some people who didn't want it to be brought back because it didn't have the numbers that they expected Chrono Cross to have, like the same thing that Chrono Trigger had. So, unfortunately, but yeah, I know that Square Enix owns the rights to it, so you could see it back.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Or they could just keep sitting on it until they finally decide to, make a buck off of it.
I'd like to see it come back, even if it's in the store. I mean, they brought it back as a remake for the 3DS. Or no, the DS, sorry. But yeah, that's it. Another one I want to see brought back is Mega Man.
Well, what was it? The mighty number 9. That's the one it was.
It is the spiritual successor to it, but it's not.
It's not. It doesn't have the official sanctioned stamp.
No. I mean, also, Shovel Knight is also the spiritual successor. It plays identical to Mega Man.
Right.
I've been seeing some of that lately. It looks kind of fun.
It's fun. I have it for my Wii U. It's a Wii U exclusive right now.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Timed exclusive. Yeah. But I was reading about Mega Man and how much sweat and just pure emotion went into that game. Developers spent hours and hours on the music, the way the character moved fluidly, things like how the screen is shifting from one room to the next. It's just little things that we take for granted that they just poured their hearts into, and it really set the bar. I'd love to see that back.
Is it? Do you think it would be presumptuous at this point to say Star Wars games are a dead franchise? What's the last Star Wars game we got?
I thought they were doing a TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
I know there are things coming, but I mean, I'm talking about what's the last Star Wars game that you remember getting released?
Knights of the Old Republic?
Old Republic, you mean? The Old Republic.
The Old Republic.
Huh.
Is that really a Star Wars game, though?
It's a BioWare game.
Yeah. I guess, Old Republic probably been chronologically the most recent Star Wars game.
I heard it's still good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not then.
But like as far as like Rebel Alliance and all those games, I would love to see those.
A new Old Republic single player game, like a Knights of the Old Republic. If they did Knights of the Old Republic 3, I would be there day and date with my money in my hand, shaking it back and forth. Yeah, I would be so down for that.
Would you go to a retail store even?
Oh,
hell yeah! If that was the only way they offered it, I would be there. I would be there.
Hell yeah!
They wouldn't do that, but
I miss those.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft days.
Yeah.
The last one I did a midnight launch for was Grand Theft Auto 4.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, that's a ways back.
I did Burning Crusade was the last one.
That was me too.
Oh, really?
No, wait.
Yeah.
Cataclysm was after that, right?
Yes, Cataclysm was after that one.
I'm pretty sure Burning Crusade was my last midnight, early AM, whatever store opening. Yeah.
That lineup must have smelled terrible.
It was bad.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm sorry, WoW players. You don't stink.
Just a little.
No.
I'm just mean.
We have nothing but love for WoW players.
Exactly.
Wow.
Legacy of Kain?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a new Legacy of Kain game or a complete reboot. I always enjoyed those games.
Yeah.
I got a few.
Crazy Taxi.
No,
Yes.
no, absolutely.
Why not?
Crazy Taxi's awesome.
Game's great. It's the sole reason to get a Dreamcast.
Right? Let's see.
No, Seaman. Seaman was the sole reason to get a Dreamcast.
I'm gonna have to throw my hat in the ring and say Fallout.
Yeah.
Easy one, but
Fallout's not dead. Fallout is not dead.
They got a. I think they're having
Those-
another one.
they're on
Yeah,
one hell of a fucking hiatus, if
I
anything.
take issue with that. I take issue with that. Those games, from a narrative standpoint, take so long to create that. Yeah, I don't think they can put one of those out every couple of years.
No, but still, it would be nice.
New Vegas was what, 2010, 2011?
Brilliant game too. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 4 years, man.
Yeah.
Uh.
I take issue with calling that a dead franchise because I think there's.
It's a franchise that's taken a long nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fallout isn't dead. It just smells funny.
Yeah. All right. How about Left 4 Dead?
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead
Oh,
3.
good
That'd be
too.
all right.
Well, I
And
mean, we are getting
zombies.
evolved. We're getting evolved later this year, which is going to be kind of an evolution on that formula.
All right. Fine. I'll
I'm not.
I'll concede. I'll concede that one.
How about Half-Life then?
See, that was next on my list.
Okay.
That one, yeah, you can have that one. I'm not
Half-Life
gonna forget
would
that.
be, it would be pretty great. There's, it's funny because they still toss in the occasional rumor, spoiler, whatever that, there's gonna be another Half-Life, but
Never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen now.
I think Steam is just being,
Valve.
sorry, Valve, right? Valve, Steam, they're all the same shit. I think Valve, shut up. I think Valve is just, they're kind of dangling that forbidden fruit in front of us now, and just to kind of eke all the gamers along in the faint hope that we're going to get another Half-Life.
It's gonna.
become a running joke.
It
Yeah.
kind of has, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be released when they release their console, if that ever happens.
Maybe, how about
You
we
think?
get a sequel
Yeah.
of Daikatana?
How about Sin?
No and no.
You guys are making me tired.
How
I'm
about,
sorry.
okay.
Serious.
How about
Serious.
Giant Citizen Kabuto? How about that?
Yeah. Oh God, that's awesome.
How about Red Dead Redemption?
Not a dead franchise. I think. Again, I don't know. I think for the rules of this, I mean, there needs to be like
Furrowing
dead
my brows.
a dead franchise is one where they've had good entries and then there are bad entries and then a long period of dormancy.
That's your input on it.
Well, that
I'm kind
I
of the
don't
same, but mine's more of like a long ass time before they've done anything with it, or there's no immediate or no future release on the horizon.
know. Right. Like a dead franchise to me is something where they've tried something different and it failed, and then there's a long period of kind of going back to the whiteboard kind of thing.
Because I was also gonna throw in Heavy Rain. I'd love to see a sequel to that.
Is that really a franchise though?
It's
I
mean, I
only
guess you
one
could throw
game,
in-
but
I
it
guess
still
you could-
kind of counts as a franchise.
I guess you could throw in Indigo Prophecy or whatever that game was as kind of a spiritual predecessor to that or something like that.
Well,
They're both developed by the same guy.
if
so.
we're gonna get picky like that, then my next entry is off the list. How about Portal? Portal 3.
Portal 3. Yeah?
All right.
Because I don't know, are they is Portal a dead franchise at the moment? Because they haven't
No,
really
I
done
think
anything
I
with
think
it.
it's still pretty vibrant.
There's
I mean,
still releasing stuff for Portal 2. Like it's still being still being put out for it.
there was that tag mode that was added recently, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh
I was,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's just like a little bit of fodder to kind of keep you playing.
How about like Day of Tentacle or Maniac Mansion? What about those?
Oh dude, yeah,
See,
Full
yeah,
Throttle.
Maniac
Full
Mansion
Throttle?
I would totally
Awesome.
do.
yeah. Maniac Mansion was great.
I have the Ultimate Dead franchise though.
What's that?
And you will recognize when I say this that it is the Ultimate Dead franchise.
Not Spec
Okay.
Ops.
Road Rash.
Road Rash. Road Rash. Oh, I love that game.
That is the Ultimate Dead franchise.
Yeah.
Ooh, loady.
The game's great.
Yeah,
Wow.
that game needs a reboot.
Yes, it does.
Did you ever play Skitchin? Skitchin was a lot like Road Rash, only you were a guy on roller skates and you relied on hanging onto the back of cars.
Okay.
It was an incredibly irresponsible game,
yeah.
and you had to like upgrade your rollerblades, otherwise like you wouldn't be able to go as fast when you're getting pulled behind the car.
Do they still make Tony Hawk games now that you mention it?
That's a good Dead franchise right there, Tony Hawk.
Would you play that though?
No, I never did.
I played one because I managed to acquire a copy using alternative methods.
It's an excellent example of a Dead franchise, but I never played them.
That's one that should they should keep the coffin closed on that.
Well, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Oh shit! I want to say Rational, the Eyeball, the Eyeball game company. They burned their God. What are they called? Eyeball game company.
That made Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
Oh god, we're gonna have to Wikipedia this.
Oh shit. They burned their eyeball.
Burned their eyeball. Now I want to know.
Wasn't the Tony Hawk stuff done by the Rock Band guys?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh god. Hang on.
Neversoft.
Neversoft, yes.
That's it. They're gone. They're now
Guitar Hero guys.
Yeah, they are
I had
gone.
I had it backwards.
They burned their eyeball. You'll never see that come out again.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, the Neversoft. They had a big ceremony where they burned their symbol or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They did. They put it on the YouTubes and everything.
So was that their kind of proverbial way of saying "fuck you guys"? Mic drop.
Yeah, we're out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty much.
Huh.
Yeah.
Don't burn your bridges. Burn your eyeballs.
Neversoft.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, they've been done since 2007, though. I mean, so at this point, it's really just kind of.
Yeah.
At this point, people are like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Well, they got bought by Blizzard, right? Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
And he got rolled into other projects and.
Yeah, they did Call of Duty Ghosts.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to go into Dead franchises, you could just dig deep into the Nintendo library and just, fish in a barrel, almost.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Mario.
Buenos Blob. Hello. No,
Yeah.
they brought that back. Can't say that one. They did actually.
Kid Icarus.
I want to say DuckTales, but then again,
Highway.
they brought back an HD remake. Kid Icarus, they tried that on
The Wii. Yeah.
was it the
DS?
Wii or no? They started out on the DS or 3DS, and then they migrated over to the Wii. Did it piss poor? I gotta say.
Terrible game. It caused terrible. I tried it. My wrist will never be the same.
It's a shame because the original,
Claw.
Yeah. It was terrible.
the original Kid Icarus was amazing. Not many people I know actually finished it as a kid. What was it? Icarus fights Medusa Angels was the best password ever to use in that game. But anyway, yeah, I would like to see that franchise brought back properly. I don't think that'll ever happen, but
yeah.
I mean, like, there's lots of Nintendo games that you could be like, yeah, they should bring this back, but they probably never will because it's Nintendo.
Anything else you guys can think of?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, Star Control was my choice for a Dead franchise I'd like to see brought back.
Yeah.
Commander?
Well, yeah, we're getting that, aren't we? I mean, that Star Citizen, that's basically like the next
Yeah,
wing?
you're
That's right.
right. You're right.
Yep.
Huh.
That game looks great. If they can get it beyond just one carrier and a couple aircraft. Right now, that's all it is. But,
Just-
Yeah.
You just got to spend a lot of money pre-funding them for all the extra stuff. So.
yeah, you can spend a lot of money and get yourself an awesome ship, like $700, I think.
One of my coworkers,
No,
not even kidding,
no.
$2,000.
Are you fucking shitting me?
$2,000. Another one of my coworkers is in for I think $900.
Why?
What? It's not even a game yet.
No, I know. But they remain quite hopeful. They even showed off like their little platinum or gold cards or whatever that you get when you give the game money.
Unreal.
I was like,
Vaporware.
kinda. But I mean, they are
It's
technically
the biggest Kickstarter in history, though.
but they're able to play a game.
It's the most highly funded Kickstarter in the history of video game Kickstarters, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as we talked about last podcast, that doesn't pan out so well.
Yeah. But no, this one, we're not going to cast aspersions on Star Citizen. That one is definitely coming out eventually.
No,
No. When they get to it. But That actually leads me to another dead franchise that just kind of popped into my head. Freelancer.
Freelancer, yeah,
Ooh.
that was a good game.
Yeah.
That
You
is a
could do with another one of those, but I mean, Star Citizen does look kind of like another one of those as well.
it is the same developer. It was the same developer that did Privateer, Freelancer.
Right.
They were all Wing Commander. They were all the same guy, same company, from what I understand.
Let me see here.
I could be wrong, but I know that Privateer is definitely the same Privateer.
Right.
All jumping on.
Yeah, it was announced by Chris Roberts in 1999 following many production schedule mishaps and a buyout at Digital Anvil, eventually released in March 2003. Okay. Yep. Yeah,
Tough
it was
game.
a Chris Roberts game.
You start off like it reminded me of like Eve. You kind of see where Eve took a lot of the
Inspiration.
yeah. I basically ripped it off completely, but yeah, you go from spaceship star base to star base, and you deliver your space goods, and
Right.
sometimes you can smuggle people and smuggle drugs.
Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high.
And that was it. And then you upgrade, so you got to fight off space pirates, and yeah.
How about Heart of Darkness?
Heart of Darkness.
It's an old PlayStation 1 classic.
I don't know that one.
It's kind of on the same vein as like Back to the Future or Goonies.
Huh.
It's a very old one.
Okay.
Like not the Joseph Conrad story about Africa.
No.
Huh.
Nope.
Why do I not know that? Oh, hang on. Okay, I think I see an image here. Heart of Darkness wallpapers. I
like-
never played that one.
Is that like Descent?
No, it's. I don't think I ever actually played that one.
Huh.
Huh.
How about Banjo Kazooie? Danny's laughing just a little bit.
Yeah.
I never really, honestly, I never had much. I never played a lot of mascot action games, but I heard that one was pretty good.
Earthworm Jim?
People
Yeah.
are saying I've heard a lot of people saying Jack and Daxter is due for a reboot or something like that.
I'd heard there was maybe something happening with
I
that,
don't think
actually.
How
Yeah.
about Toe Jam and Earl?
Oh, dude, yes,
Oh.
please.
Yeah,
I thought they did that one.
they did.
Wasn't there a recent one of those?
Could be.
Hang on, I gotta look this up now.
Great game.
How about Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, I had that one. Actually,
Siphon Filter?
I don't know.
Now you're just naming
Are these ones?
PlayStation 1 games.
Yeah. Do you want them out? Like you?
Some of them, yes. Actually.
I just don't know if I would play them just because for the sake of nostalgia. Like,
Well, actually, honestly, one game I'd like to come back, which might actually make me buy another console, Battletoads.
fuck that game.
no.
Night-
fuck
Night-
it.
Nightmares.
An unbroken version of Battletoads.
It's stuff
No,
of
fuck it.
childhood nightmares.
Fuck
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah. Hey man,
that game.
I really
Stupid
liked Spelunky and how difficult it was. I think Battletoads would
Yeah.
No, Spelunky is fair. Battletoads
Yeah,
is not
true.
fair.
well,
They
if
can
we want
down
to talk about
track.
not fair games, Ghosts
Not
and
being able
Goblins.
to see the things that are coming at you, that game is no, fuck that game.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was just insane.
Ghosts and Goblins, bring that franchise back as punishing as it was. Congratulations, you beat the
I don't-
game. Now you get to play it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I'm just looking. It was re-released on the Virtual Console in 2006. I'm just looking up Toe Jam and Earl now, right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it wasn't
Toe Jam and
2006?
Earl. It was released on the Virtual Console in 2006.
Oh, okay.
That's the most recent release that I can find. Xbox Live Arcade.
So
It's part of the Sega Vintage Collection, November 7th, 2012.
Well,
I could have sworn there was a new Toe Jam and Earl game that came out.
as an NES guy, Dan, how would you think about a remake of Earthbound?
I actually don't think it needs a remake. I think in its current form, it's just utterly brilliant. I honestly would prefer. I'm like one of those don't touch Star Wars kind of guys. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, have you tried it recently? Have you played it?
Which Earthbound?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played
Yeah,
it when I was
yeah.
a kid, dude.
Oh, you should try it again. I think coming at it with a more adult sort of, experienced person, you get a lot of the nuances from that game.
I think it was last year that I was starting to try and replay it, and then I kind of got sidetracked and didn't continue.
It's a great game.
Huh.
Bring it
Do you
back.
know if I can't remember if they announced it at E3? Was Uncharted getting a remake?
Uncharted?
Uncharted, yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe they were discussing of maybe making an Uncharted one, or people were hyperbolizing that there would be one and then it never happened or something. I can't remember.
You talking about the Drake's Fortune?
Yeah.
Because I think there is going to be another. Well, there's a
there is.
movie.
There's going to be a fourth one.
Okay.
It's going to be the last one in the series, though. Apparently that whatchamacallit, Naughty Dog is going to work on.
Okay.
They're going to put all their effort into Last of Us after that, I guess.
Another one that would actually be kind of neat to see come back is Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah. I don't know.
It could be done well as an action
On the
platformer.
original Xbox. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Hard game.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Oh.
Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much tapped out on that topic.
I could throw more in, but yeah.
That's all I've got written on that. I don't know. I think that there's tons of opportunity to develop older. I mean, but I personally would like to see more new intellectual property. For me,
Yeah.
like I think there's too much. There's a glut of sequels and whatnot. It'd be nice to see new mechanics and new, especially now that we got the new consoles. Let's start pushing the hardware to as powerful as they can be. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I think.
I'm with you there, though.
Yeah. All right. So should we wrap up the show?
We should.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks guys. Another week down.
Hooray. Make sure to visit us on the backspace.ca for all our social links and whatnot, and how to get in touch with us if you want to ask a question for us to answer on air. That's a good place to start.
Definitely will answer any and all questions. Anything. You're very needy people.
We are. Talk to us.
What videos do we have coming up on our website?
And
Now I put you on the spot.
we have some XCOM.
Yep.
We have...
We have Dawn of War 2, a frustrating adventure.
We'll call that one a flail through.
A flail through.
We have part 2 of your Divinity Original Sin. We have, Warhammer Dawn of War 2, XCOM Long War Mod Episode 1. Nothing else is scheduled at the moment, although this episode of the podcast, if you're watching it on YouTube, which you probably are, or not, maybe go watch it on YouTube if you're not, it will be overlaid with a Viscera Cleanup Detail edition.
You're doing that?
Uh-huh.
You said you
Nice.
would. That's
The
great.
Viscera Cleanup Podcast.
I was so close to picking up a
Not safe for work.
foreplay of that for us.
4-pack?
Yeah, 4-pack.
Foreplay?
I think the
I think it's called foreplay.
That is also a sexual reference.
I did not realize that until I said it.
I think the Dragon Warrior.
Mhm.
You have Dragon Warrior?
Sorry, Shadow Warrior
Shadow Warrior, yeah.
game has Visual Cleanup Detail, but I think that is also a multiplayer version.
I could get it. It wouldn't be that hard.
Neat.
Let's do that.
But I already own Shadow Warrior with Viscera Cleanup Detail.
I'll install that just to see. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you,
Good
everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Internet.
This cake looks good.
But I'm supposed to be training some tools on stuff. Junk. I don't even. Anyway. I'll tell because I was like, I don't want to go to Seattle. Plus, I heard it rains there. And they're like, well, can you go? I said, I don't know. So I don't really want to go.
Says the guy from Vancouver.
boy.
That's how I'm doing it.
Fucking dick.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
There's my dog.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't put that into the blooper reel, please.
Brian's a little sensitive about it.